This is Joshua Hart here for Seconds Out. Delighted today to be joined by top trainer Billy Nelson over Zoom. Billy, it's good to see you. Thank you very much for your time this evening. And how is everything?
It's busy, mate. I'm a very busy gym just now. Few fights coming up for the young novices on at the weekend, and then I've got Sean Lazzarini, who was a Commonwealth gold medalist, making his debut, the long-awaited debut, on the 4th of October, along with Luke Bibby, who for me is looking outstanding in the gym. Although he won the British Amateurs a couple of times, he's 5-0 as a pro, and he only turned pro in January. And he'll hopefully he'll have another two fights this year, one in October, one in November or December. And 7-0 in your first year would be an excellent start to your pro career. But what I would say about him is he's improved beyond recognition from 12 months ago when he joined the gym.
Fair enough. And then, obviously, you mentioned having the busy gym. How good is it to have a busy gym and constantly having fighters getting ready for dates? Like, how good is that for yourself as a trainer?
But listen, we're all in it for the fight nights. The the fight nights are the best nights, aren't they? I mean, we've all got an end game, and that's to win on the fight underneath the lights. Uh, Me as a trainer and the boxer as the fighter, and it's the best part of it. So I went through a spell after when Ricky and I split up, where I was a lot quieter and we weren't fighting as much, but now we're thriving in the gym. We've also got Crocker in the gym. Martin Bakole will be fighting later on the year in the gym. I've got a couple of new additions to the gym that'll get mentioned very short. One is a world class fighter, and one's a boy that's done nothing. So it's going from one end of the spectrum to the other, and I love it as in, you know, bringing the young boy through and uh, teaching the guy that's got world class ability new things, and this new guy's thrilled to be where we are. He says he's learnt so much just in 3 weeks, which is nice to hear from him. Very complimentary.
How do you have to vary the training from going training someone like Lewis Crocker and Martin Bakole, who are really now at that elite level and ready to challenge for world titles, to training one of your up and coming fighters who you need to almost teach the professional game to them? How does training vary?
Well, it does vary slightly, but the fundamentals are the same, and it's actually better getting them at a very early, at the early embryonic stages of their career, because if you can teach them at a very early stages, it stays with them and it's embedded in them for the rest of their career. Whereas somebody that's been taught, without speaking out of school incorrectly, something, it's harder to teach, as they say, old dogs new tricks.
Well, just getting straight into things now. We had some big news at the weekend that Liam Smith was not going to be fighting Josh Kelly, and I saw you throw Lewis Crocker's name into the hat.
No,
Um,
it was no. It wasn't me that threw Lewis's name into the hat. It was his manager, Jamie,
okay, okay,
uh, and Matchroom.
okay,
I just jumped on the bandwagon all.
okay, fair enough. How close was that fight to getting made between Lewis and Josh Kelly?
I've no idea. I'm only his
Okay,
coach. I honestly don't know.
okay,
I
so
think
you're
I mean fair play to Ishmael Davis, isn't it?
yeah, Ishmael Davis, yeah, yeah.
Ishmael Davis, fair play him. You know, only last week or the week before they get called up to fight to nominated for the English title, so that's a hell of a jump. And fair play to him for taking the fight. I think with the fullest of respect, with the names that I heard getting mentioned, it's the easiest option.
Really?
About well, given what he's achieved so far as a professional, I'm not
Hmm.
saying he can't go into far from it. I'm not saying that, but as what the names that I heard was on the list compared to what the others have achieved, it's the easiest fight so far on paper.
Obviously, looking at from the fight as a coach, obviously you mentioned not having any clue as to how close the fight was to getting made. But if Lewis was to get that fight with Josh Kelly, that would have meant jumping up to middleweight. Um, did you have any like concerns about Lewis Crocker going up to middleweight, or were you all on board with that?
No, we have no complaints whatsoever because Lewis Crocker punches ferociously round about 154 to 167, 168. Absolutely ferocious.
And how do you feel the fight would have went if we saw Lewis Crocker versus Josh Kelly?
I think Lewis would have stopped him, given the fact that. But there was another negative with that fight. They both trained together at one stage.
Okay.
They were both under the tutelage of Adam, and they'd sparred a few times as well, so they knew each other as well. So, with the fullest respect, and you can't blame them. They knew Lewis is going to be a hard night's work for anybody. So, but listen, as I say, fair play to the boy Davis for taking the step up, and I hope he does well, and I hope it's a great fight.
I'm just sticking with Lewis Crocker, but looking at some of the other fights. A fight that's been mentioned heavily recently is the fight with Paddy Donovan. How likely is it that we see Lewis Crocker versus Paddy Donovan in the near future?
Well, I'd like to see it in the near future. If it's next, it's next. Paddy will get took care of if and when the fight's made. There's only one person that's stopped the fight and been made twice, and that was Paddy. So Lewis Crocker will fight anybody, mate. I know I've said that about Martin Bakole, and as the case, but Lewis would fight anybody.
And
So
then
there's no fears on Lewis's side about fighting Paddy Donovan.
if the fight isn't to be made next, are you gonna wait around for that fight, or do you want to make sure that Lewis is getting activity and staying in the ring?
We're no waiting on Paddy Donovan. Why would we wait on Paddy Donovan? Paddy's no beat a top 30 welterweight in the world. So that's a good fight for Paddy Donovan. Conor Walker, the guy that gave Lewis Crocker a good fight last time. Surely that's a fight that people should be made. That a fight like that should be made. With the fullest respect, Paddy Donovan's a very fine fighter, mate, right? But as I said, he's not fought or beat anybody in the top 25, 30. So there's a fight. Conor Walker, he's looking to bounce back after a good fight against Lewis Crocker. Surely that's an ideal fight for both. I don't hear people mentioning that fight.
Do you feel that there's more interest? Obviously, it's very obvious to see that there's a lot more interest in a fight between Paddy and Lewis because of that all Irish rivalry, and it would sell it would sell really, really well in Ireland, wouldn't
No,
it?
and no, in Belfast. I'll
Belfast.
sell in Belfast because Lewis is the A side.
Yeah.
Make no mistake, Lewis is the A side. Lewis is the bigger ticket seller. Lewis is the champion. The fight would be made in Belfast, no anywhere in the fullest respect, Southern Ireland. Paddy's in dreamland if you think the fight's gone there.
So that fight, if Paddy Donovan wants that fight, he's got to go to Belfast for it.
100%, I would imagine. Oh, yeah, of course. But why would they even consider taking it to England when it's an Irish fight? It's an Irish
Mm,
fight. All Ireland
absolutely.
fight. Listen, when it happens, business will get took care of. Make no mistake.
And how do you see, I guess you say the next 12 to 18 months of Lewis's career unfolding? Obviously, if we take the Paddy Donovan fight out of the picture, what type of fights do you look to make for him?
World title fights. That could be next. We just don't know. But there's things happening in the division. People are moving up. Potentially, people will be vacating. People will be ordered to fight someday. People might know better to fight for one reason or another, and then there's many permutations just now. But hopefully they'll all come to head very very quickly, and we can and all the people round about the top of the divisions will have a clear indication of where they're going, and who they're fighting.
And when do you believe we can see Lewis Crocker next in the ring?
Well, Lewis will fight November or December. I'm 100% sure of that.
And just very quickly, just a word on Martin Bakole. Obviously, we know that it's meant to be Zhilei Zhang next. Um, but again, a very interesting time for him with that statement win over Jared Anderson. It throws him right in the mix now, like properly in the mix for world titles. Once you're done with the Zhang fight, if that is to get made, how quickly would you like to target those world titles? Obviously, I know the belts are tied up at the moment, but are you going to be adamant on forcing a world title shot for Martin Bakole? Because he has been sat at WBA #1 for a long time now.
100%. I could see there's fights getting mentioned. I can't get into detail, but there's fights going to be happening at the end of the year where I would like to think that the two winners could fight for a vacant world title early part of next year, maybe April, May.
Sounds
Because
very.
the belts will be fragmented.
Yeah, you'd like to think.
I mean, God, be honest with yourself, right? And this is just my personal opinion, and I think the majority of people's. If AJ beats Daniel Dubois, and Usyk beats, I'm only saying this as if this happened, if Usyk beat Fury, who really wants to watch Usyk Fury and AJ again? I mean, Spencer, Spencer, I love Spencer. He says, AJ will stop him in 6 rounds. Well, he couldn't do it in 24 rounds. So how's he going to do it in 6?
Yeah, you make a good point.
Well, it's fact. I think, with the fullest respect, it's his nemesis. He's never going to beat the likes of Usyk. That particular, AJ, that may be his bogeyman. As great as he is, Usyk, I think he's always get the beating AJ.
Would you say it's
Just his,
almost like his
just his
kryptonite?
style, just his style. You know what I mean? His style.
Would you say it's AJ's kryptonite? I guess you could say.
Huh.
So, just talking of AJ, obviously this weekend he does take on Daniel Dubois, like you mentioned.
Mhm.
A lot of fans, a lot of people in the industry, their minds keep changing on how this fight's going to go. Does your mind keep changing, or are you adamant on the prediction that you made when it first got announced?
AJ will stop him before the end of 5.
Really? Is that what you're set on stone? You believe that's what's going to happen?
Mm.
What makes you think that?
He punches too hard for Daniel.
Do you not see any way Daniel can evade the shots? Possibly, I was
He's not got a good defence, mate. He got hit with 47 right hands against Hrgovic, who was punching instead of pushing through the punch. He was punching like that, like an amateur.
Yeah.
But it still hit him with 47 right hands or something like that in 2 rounds. If Martin Bakole hits you with 47 right hands, you think you're standing up?
No.
And AJ punches harder than Martin. Not as frequently, but he punches harder.
Do you see any way that Daniel Dubois has a chance of beating Anthony Joshua?
Oh, of course, he's got. If he lands first, if he lands the one thing Daniel has is he got a good punch. I think AJ punches harder, but he's got a very good punch, and we all know that AJ's chin's not the greatest. You
One
know,
thing, one thing that people have been mentioning is obviously, I think people are forgetting that this is Daniel Dubois' first defense of his world title. Do you find it hard to view Dubois as a full world champion?
of course. How can you call him a world champion? How many times has he held the belt up at the end of a fight? He's never fought a world title. So how can he be a world champion? He's never fought for a world title.
Can you not
It's the
classify?
only it's the only sport in the world you can become a world champion without winning a world title fight. A world title. Isn't it?
Do you not classify that WBA title that he held as a world title? Because some are saying he's a two-time world
No.
champion now.
Oh, your balls. It was a regular title. So Manuel Charles a world champion now, is he? Come on. He's not fought for fucking 4 years, 5 years. He's a world champion. For goodness sake. Let's get real. Do you
Yeah.
class him as a world champion?
I don't think I'm allowed to give my view on that. Actually, no. We did the Seconds Out live show today, and I said I do find it hard to view him as a world champion at the moment.
Well, listen, to win a world title, you win a world title, you get that belt, and you raise it above your head. I've not seen Daniel with a world title belt above his head yet. Have you? I'm not knocking him. If he goes and wins it, if he goes and beats AJ, bravo, well done, sir. Well done. You're a world champion. Nobody can ever take that away from me. But no, like this. No. Is it the IBF email world champion?
Would it have made more sense to have made the fight for the vacant title?
Of course it would have. Do you not agree?
Oh no, I agree. I agree definitely.
Thank you. Well, let's common sense. Let common sense. I know common sense. Let common sense prevail. Is not a very common thing used in boxing, but let's just say in future, you don't get given world title fights. Let's fight for a vacant title. The two highest challengers, which in this case AJ and Daniel. That's the fairest way to put it. You're calling yourself two-time world champion. Very good.
Do you feel
so? What people are trying to imply is that he's done every bit as much as what AJ has, and AJ's had 10, 11 world title fights. Daniel's not had one, but he's termed as the same as AJ, a two-weight world champion. Come on.
And then if
you do get my point, don't you? You do get my.
Oh, I get your point, Billy. Don't you worry. I get your point. I think you've brought it across very well there. Just quickly, I want to take it to the trainers. I think a big debate that has been coming up, especially within the SecondsOut circle here, is looking at the two trainers, because both Don Charles and Ben Davison have had, I guess you could say, a very significant impact in the redirection of both fighters' careers. But who would you say is the better trainer out of the two?
I only know Don Charles. I don't know Ben Davison. I know Don Charles. He stayed in my house a few times when he brought Harry Armstrong and another fighter up. Lovely man, articulate man. I think he's made Daniel psychologically a little bit better, and you know his jab's obviously a lot better now. Ben, I really don't know because I've been in the gym once with Ben, and my boxer knocked his boxer cold out.
Oh, fair enough.
But that means nothing. It's I've never worked with Ben. I've never been in a gym with Ben apart from once, and I never knew who. And with the fullest respect, I didn't know who he was at the time.
You know, when let's say when we look at them from the fight night perspectives and the things that we hear about Ben Davison and how good he is as a trainer. If you can compare it from, without obviously having your inside information and I guess you could say a deeper knowledge of Don Charles as a trainer, if you were just looking at it from the outside and let's say you didn't know either of them, which trainer would you look at and think, yeah, they're a properly well established good trainer?
Both of them are exceptional trainers. They must be. Ben has got an excellent stable there now, and listen, boxers will soon tell you if you're not doing your job right because they'll just fuck off and leave. You know, so and you can't keep every boxer happy. One thing I know, and I'm not meaning anything against Ben here, but one thing I know about Don Charles, he gives everything to these boxers, and I'm sure Ben have the same ilk. Like I say, how can I comment on something if I don't know anybody? Yeah. I don't know the person.
Yeah, that's completely understandable. When you look at the trainers though and the way their fighters perform on fight night, which trainer would you say you see a bit more of your, like, which style of training do you prefer when you see the results that they get on fight night? Like, which style would you say suits you more as a trainer and shows similarity?
Again, that's a hard question. I don't know what they're doing in the gym. I think with both fighters, right? Both fighters, let's not make any mistake here. When the shit hits the fan and they're going toe for toe, everything they've learned in the gym goes out the window and they revert to type. So Daniel had a fantastic trainer in Martin Bakole.
Mm-hmm.
No, exceptional good, who done everything for Daniel, everything and more. Everything the trainer, you couldn't have wished for any more than what Martin Bakole done for Daniel. And then he bolted and left and went to what's his name, Shane McGuigan, who's an exceptional trainer. he's left there as well. For me, that signs a weakness. There's a weakness there somewhere. Okay, but the same can be said for AJ. He went for a great trainer, and Rob McCracken, who done everything from amateur and pro, won world titles. Did he win the second world title? He did. He won the second world title with
Yes, I think he did. I think he was still with him when he won the second
Rob
one.
McCracken. You know, and then he left him, went to a couple of guys in America. I think he went to. Did he go to somewhere else in England before he went to Ben? Or did he leave the American to come to Ben?
I think he was with Angel Fernandez, I want to say, after leaving McCracken. Then went from Angel Fernandez to Derek James, then from Derek James to Ben Davison.
No, there was another guy as well.
A guy there.
He went to another guy that was only went there for a few weeks. Because the guy really bad mouthed him, didn't he? Was it no? Oh, what's his name? Is his brother no? Or was he not an ex-world champion himself? Can't remember his name.
I'm not
But he's
sure.
a top American trainer anyway.
Hmm.
So listen, let's hope they're both settled now. Both have got exceptionally good trainers in the corners, and the best man to win in the night. But I think experience will take its toll.
So if I was to ask you for a final prediction, I think we
AJ before the end of 5.
fair enough. Well, Billy, thank you very much for your time tonight. It's been a pleasure to interview you for the first time, and hopefully we'll catch up again post fight and see if you were spot on with your prediction. Until then, thank you.
All the best, mate. Take care. Good luck.